Earlier we were talking about getting lost in the wilderness or in Surrey, which can be the wilderness as well. Talking about getting lost. Have you ever had a moment where you got lost? Einer asked that question earlier. And when you got lost, what was the reason you got lost? This is a moment in my life, and these are actual pictures from the place where I got lost. That looks like a bit of a scary place to get lost. This is in the Idaho Panhandle in the Rocky Mountains, foothills of the Rocky Mountains. And I was 10 years old, and we were out camping with my dad and my brother and some other friends, and I got myself lost. There was this trail where you had to go to get water, and it was about a mile, so almost 2 kilometers away from camp, 1.5 kilometers away from camp. And I'd gone there many times with my dad and his friends, hiking down there, and I knew the way. I was 10 years old, and me and my brother wanted to go get water by ourselves. This is a remote campsite. There's no one else around for many miles. I said to my dad, "Can I go get the water?" And he said to me, "Yes, but you have to listen to my instructions." And I said, "All right, sure. Whatever I have to do to get you to let me go, I'll do it." So my dad gave me all these instructions. They were very important instructions, warnings about what I needed to make sure to do and not do, so I didn't get lost. And I sat there, and all his words to me were like, blah, 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 blah. All I heard was, how soon can I get out of this conversation and hit the trail? So me and my brother, I was 10, my brother was 8, and we hit this trail, and we made it all the way to the water hole, and we made it all the way back, and all of a sudden, we're on a trail that looked kind of like this, and all of a sudden, I realized that I did not know if the trail up to the campsite was ahead of me or behind me. And I remembered that my dad had said before I left, be very careful on the way back to pay attention and not miss the trail up to the campsite. Because once you miss it, you won't know if it's ahead of you or behind you. He said those words to me. And blah, blah, blah. It went right over my head. Because I knew how to do it. I was going to do it all on my own. So the point of this illustration, let's see if I have one more picture. Oh no, that's the end of the pictures. So the point of this illustration is not actually this time the fact that I got lost. It's not the fact that I got lost. It's what was my attitude toward my dad in those moments when he was giving me instructions. My attitude was that I could rely on my own understanding. I already knew enough to get to the watering hole, to accomplish the task, to come back. I didn't need any of his information or his warnings. That was my attitude. If that's your attitude toward God, you do not fear the Lord. We're going to be talking about fearing the Lord in the psalm that we're looking at in a minute. I did not fear my dad. The way that the Bible talks, it has this term, and it's a little bit of a difficult term or a problematic term, actually, in the Old Testament, to fear the Lord, because it makes us today think that means being afraid of God. No, that's not what it means. It means when God speaks, do you sit up at attention? Do you recognize that when God speaks, this is vital, crucial information for your life, and you better wake up and listen to the words that are being said? That's what I should have done when my dad was speaking. I should have feared my dad. In Bible speak, I would have feared my dad, not in the sense of being afraid of him, but in the sense of knowing that what he was sharing with me was vital for my continued existence. There are black bears and brown bears and grizzly bears in the North Idaho mountains. So eventually my dad came and saved me, because that's what happens when you get in trouble. This is another lesson for life. You're going to need your dad to come and save you, okay? If your dad can't save you, your biological dad, you need your Father in heaven to come save you. We're going to be talking about that today. My dad came, and I had sort of wandered into a snare of being lost, and my dad came and took me out of the snare. He was the one who could rescue me from the snare. But this idea of fearing the Lord, we're going to keep that in mind as we go through the message today.